Hey guys, welcome to catanddogonfilm. I'm Oscar.
And I'm Julie.
So this video series, the title as you can see is Cat and Dog on Film, and we decided to start this project because we love movies and we just want to share our ideas on movies with you guys. So we're going to review some recent and classic films in this video series. And today we are going to review a recent film, Never Let Me Go, directed by Mark Romanek and starring Carey Mulligan, Andrew Garfield, and Kiera Knightley.
Never Let Me Go is the adaptation of Ishiguro's novel, also titled Never Let Me Go. It is a wonderful but tragic story of three characters, Ruth, Kathy, and Tommy, who are human clones made for the purpose of transplanting their organs into human beings. It is set in 1990s England, and it explores from their childhood to the deaths of Ruth and Tommy. So what is really special about this movie is that they just accept the fact, the reality, the destiny that they have to die at an early age. For whom? For other people, for the beings that they do not know after several surgeries.
Well, that's the point I would like to mention about this movie because I thought that this movie lacks emotional persuasion and emotional desperation. The whole ambience and atmosphere of the movie is really dry and somewhat really somber. But I get that. But the emotional desperation of the characters are not effectively delivered by director. They are going to die very soon and without enjoying their lives until they are really really old. And that kind of desperation was really really important, I think, in my opinion. That's really important because it's about their lives, but this film does not portray that kind of desperation very well.
Well, I thought that the lack of desperation is the whole point of the movie because um, as the characters in the movie are born into the system that they never chose, that they never they themselves never created, we also are born into a system that we never created. But do all of us commit suicide to end our lives desperately? No, we just accept it. We just surrender to the reality or the system or the rules that we have to abide by. So I thought the whole point of the movie was the lack of desperation, and I was able to empathize with them because of the very fact that they surrendered to the reality. Because I did too, you did too.
Yeah, I get your point that the universality of humans and clones, that we cannot choose our lives, right? But at least I think directors should have portrayed some kind of confusion, right? Yeah. So okay, so let's move on to the cinematography of this movie, and I have to admit that this movie's color is just wonderful. It's pastel.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's dry,
Beautifully
and
done.
it really goes along with the general ambience and the theme of the movie, which is very, in my opinion, dry. But it also really fits the whole movie. I mean, the ambience, right?
And I thought that the colors and the sceneries of the movie was the very fact that I could actually emphasize with the characters, that I could feel the emotions because it was so delicately planned and like colored. So
Most of the scenes in this movie are really calculated. It's really meticulously planned out to be put together. It's really wonderful to see so. But that can create another problem that I've mentioned. That about the dry and somber thing. So it lacks kind of emotional desperation. So yeah, but color is really great. So let's talk about your favorite scenes of this movie.
well, one of my favorite scenes, I have to say, is when Kiera Knightley is cut open and lying on a
Surgical bed, yeah.
table, and like no one's there. She's alone. She's dead, and blood is just dripping down like tuk 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 tuk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that scene was so shocking to me. So like it made me really sad because it made me imagine after I die, what it would be like after I die. Um, After we die, there may be some people who would remember us, but there's nothing about us. Like we are gone, and we might be alone, like Keira Knightley was in the movie. Yeah, and so I thought like human mortality, as always, is very sad and depressing to think about. Yeah.
I think human mortality in this is one of the most important themes in this movie because my favorite scene, which is the very last scene of the movie, of the Carey Mulligan's narration, is also telling us about universality of our life, even though that kind of life is for humans or for clones. I mean, this movie throughout the movie, it tells us that humans are not that different from clones because we love, we feel jealousy, we feel worried about our lives, right? But and as you said before, we cannot choose our life, so that's the whole point of the movie. And I was really empathizing also with that scene because it directly
At
tells
the
us
end of
about the
it.
theme, yeah. But also I think that the movie, that scene is kind of a little bit of mistake based because I think that the last narration of Carey Mulligan's was the only one that kind of directly tells us about the
Oh,
themes of the
really?
movie. But
Well, I thought that the last scene was kind of redundant because like I felt that the whole movie, entire movie was telling us over and over what the movie is about, and the last scene was like, bam, this is what I'm telling you. Like she narrates it, so yeah, kind of different.
And I have another issue about this movie about the Kiera Knightley's transformation in her spirit, because before she admits that she had some kind of wrong relationship, that she was wrong about having relationship with Tommy. She was just portrayed as a bitch, like she was very
Bored, yeah.
evil and just very plain character. But
Then
after
suddenly,
somehow,
yeah,
like she just
changes.
changes her mind and tells and admits her mistake, and even she turns out to be really benevolent, that she gives Tommy and Kathy the chance to delay their completion. And I was
Yeah.
just really shocked. It's just weird because even without explanation about that kind of transformation, we just are expected to
Yeah.
logically
I have to
conclude.
agree. Like even if we can like logically think that she had much time to think about their pasts and she just kind of made a decision that she was wrong, but we have to jump. Yeah, we our audience have to like make an uncertain decision about what she should have gone through. So I felt that kind of jumps too.
And that kind of sudden gaps were really disappointing. But overall it's good story.
Well, I loved it.
Yeah. So let's move on to our final points about acting. Well, first of all, I have to say that I just loved Carey Mulligan in this movie. I first saw her in Uneducation, and I was really surprised to find her very honest and deep acting, even though the story itself was kind of really typical growth, youth growth story. But in this movie, I think she is much more restrained, and she knows how to control and tolerate herself. And even though she controls herself in this play, in this movie, she knows what she feels, and she kind of shows us that very, very, in a very subtle way. And I was really surprised to find that kind of thing because that subtlety of Carey Mulligan's acting was just going along with the whole ambience of the movie, right?
I was actually surprised by two of the actor
And
one
actresses.
actor and one actress because I saw both on Education and Social Network, and I found Carey Mulligan and Andrew Garfield very somewhat disappointing because I didn't find them very awesome or anything, but I have to say I was awed by both of them in this movie, Never Let Me Go, because Andrew Garfield just portrays the weak, vulnerable clone who cannot control emotions like
He was
other.
just
Yeah,
fit to this
yeah, he
role.
was just so great, so good. Carey Mulligan as well.
And well, Kiera Knightley, she's been a really good actress. I mean, in Atonement, she just showed us wonderful aspects. But I'm kind of worried about this film in a way that that this in a way that this movie just depicts her, Kiera Knightley, because I think she kind of served as a structural tool
Maybe.
for the theme of the movie. But overall, just great acting. I hope that there would be some kind of improvement in production and directing, but still acting was just wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So that's all for today. And it's really good to have your ideas too. So we just want your ideas, right? So please leave some comments.
Comment right below.
And next week we're going to review Love and Other
Other
Drugs,
Drugs.
which is also a recent movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway. And because today
we were so serious.
yeah, we were so serious, so we just have
Yeah.
to we just felt that we could do something more
Love
yeah
and Other Drugs.
lovely
Yeah.
and lighter thing maybe, but it's not never that kind of flippant because it's also dealing with serious subjects. So yeah, so that's it for today, and
So see you
see you later.
Hopefully
Yeah.
see you
Next
next
week.
time.
Bye.
Bye.